Yeah.
Fetterman,
Here.
Fiore, Peterson.
Here.
Slavin.
Here.
Okay, if we could all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First on the agenda is special meeting of the City Council for May 10th, 2016. If I get a motion to approve those minutes, please.
I'll make that motion. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? 3-2 is the regular City Council meeting from May 17th, 2016. If I get a motion to approve that, please.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And finally, 3-3, Committee of the Whole for May 17th, those minutes. Get a motion for that, please.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Next on the agenda, we do have two appointments here this evening. The first one will be for oath of office for Dino Giolis. Darn it, messed that one up. But we're gonna come over here and swear it. You in? Go over here where the microphone is. Have you stand right by the microphone? I don't want to hear your voice, not my voice. So, okay. If you repeat after me, please. I do solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
the laws and ordinances of the City of Highwood,
the laws and ordinances of the City of Highwood,
and the rules and regulations
and the rules and regulations
of the City of Highwood Police
and
Department.
of the City of Highwood Police Department.
Well, I'm not doing a very good job here. Sorry about that. Further, that you will obey the lawful orders
I will obey the lawful orders
of all superior officers
of all superior officers
appointed over me,
appointed over me,
and faithfully discharge
and faithfully discharge
the duties of office of police
the duties of Office of Police
of the City of
of the
Highwood,
City of Highwood,
Illinois,
Illinois,
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Welcome aboard.
Thank you.
Wrong way, guy.
Welcome aboard. Please introduce yourself to all the aldermen. Give them a thing, yeah.
Andy Peterson. Congratulations. Nice to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you.
City attorney.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Good evening. Oh.
Okay, our second appointment for this evening is from the Highwood Library Board. We have Lucy Hospodarski for a 3-year term. She is currently the president of the library board. Her term will start, or did start, May 1st, 2016, and will go through April 30th, 2019. If I get a motion,
So
please.
moved. Second.
Roll call. Oh, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Jim, please inform your wife that she's back on the, she's still on the board. Next on the agenda is the approval of the warrant list dated 6/7. We did have a couple questions, but everything was pretty smooth on the warrant list. If I get a motion to approve the warrant list, please.
So moved. Second.
Roll call, please. Alderman Fulber.
Alderman Fetterman,
Yes.
Peterson.
Aye.
Slavin.
Aye.
Fallberg.
Yes.
Okay. Next on the agenda are public input for items not on the agenda. Okay, we'll move by quickly. Next up is we have a presentation by soon to be reappointed, Jim Hospodarski to NSSRA and Craig Culp from NSSRA. Gentlemen, come on up. Right. You should be like this the whole time.
That's right. Mayor, Council, Mr. Corrin, I'd like to thank everybody for allowing us to attend tonight's meeting and give an update on the Northern Suburban Special Recreation Association. My name is Jim Hospodarski. I live in 76 Rulip in Highwood, and we've been a part of NSSRA for approximately 10 years. We were members before that, but we joined again in the late 2000s. It's a tremendous organization. I'll let Craig Culp, who's the executive director, tell you a little bit about that and give a brief presentation. It's really a testament to the mayor, the council, city manager, the city, the citizens, that we are a part of this tremendous organization that helps special needs and recreation. So we thank the continued support of the city and its citizens. I'll turn it over to Mr. Culp to give the presentation.
Thank you, Mayor, and to the council and to Scott for having me out. It's been a little while since I've been here last, and I always welcome the opportunity to come out to any of our partner agencies to share the good work that we've been doing of late. Scott was nice enough to pass around. We have our most recent program guide in front of you, and inside we have an insert of our participation over the last 2 years. We, on an annual basis, put together a video that's just 4 minutes long that really does a much better job of describing who we are and what we do. So I would propose we start with that, and Scott was nice enough to cue this up for me. Then I can do a brief presentation on where we are with our participation. Our Highwood residents are really taking advantage of our scholarship opportunities, which is great, and I'll share some other neat things that have been going on. So that being said, I'd love to hit play here. Please enjoy.
It's up as low as it goes.
We can hear it.
So see, that truly does a better job than I could ever do of explaining who we are and what we do. Couple of stats, and I'll just share with you a great little story about how NSSRA is doing. But member contribution wise, 2.5 years ago, I was before the council talking about our capital plan and how NSSRA continues to do well. And if you, just to share with you the update on our 2015 to 2016 capital contribution, Highwood's contribution from 15 to 16 actually went down by $500. We had a 1.5% increase to our budget, but because our contribution is connected to population and EAV, it's always moving a little bit. So the member HE contribution between 15 and 16 went down by $500. The capital member agency contribution went up by $500. And then inclusion contribution, which is always a moving target, because our inclusion programs, which were mentioned in the video, that's when a resident with a disability signs up for a home, park district, or rec department program. And then NSSRA assesses the program, assigns a leisure buddy or an inclusion companion to be with that individual in the program. And those direct costs are covered by our member agencies. And so it's completely participation driven. And that actually went from $1,800 in 2015 to $4,200 in 2016. And all of our member contributions obviously go through Scott, the city manager, onto the council, et cetera. So thank you so much for your continued support. The participation information that I had in your packet there, again, we're on a calendar fiscal year. So we always do our reporting as the year ends. And as you can see, between 14 and 15, the actual number of registrations grew from 129 to 142, though the number of individuals that participated from Highwood decreased from 27 individuals to 18. And that actually is a very positive number. That means that the participants, the residents with disabilities that are in our programs, they're using our programs more. And you can see, and I always like to share with all of our partners, every area that we register for and how each of our 13 partners is, part of the mix of everything that we do. And as you saw in the video, we had just under 1,700 individuals that we serve on an annual basis that sign up for almost 8,000 programs. So that's individuals, and so I may sign up for, I'm one individual, but if I sign up for basketball and theater and piano lessons and whatever, I'd be one person who signed up for 5 programs, et cetera. So that's how we count there. Keep that very consistent and very simple for everybody to understand what's going on. Another great story is our scholarship program. In the video, it talked about our foundation, which is doing wonderful work for us. They're going to hit their 20th anniversary in a year and a half. They provided $1.5 million in 17.5 years or 18.5 years to NSSRA. One of their biggest areas of support is the scholarship program. Last year, we provided almost $50,000 in scholarships. And in Highwood, that trend is definitely being taken advantage of. In so far, year to date in 2016, we have $2,025 for supporting 19 programs for 3 individuals here in Highwood. Last year, we provided $1,996 for 22 programs for 3 people. So here we are, June 6th, and we're already above last year's level of support. That makes our foundation very happy, because the one thing we don't want to have happen is a participant who's looking for our programs. We're such a connection to the community to not be able to go for financial reasons. So our scholarship program continues to grow, and it's being used by our residents here in Highwood. Building capital-wise, we 3 years ago we passed our capital plan to move into a new home with a partner agency. We developed the first capital plan ever. In connection with that, we're still searching for a partner to adopt us and find that spot. But nobody has 15 to 20,000 square feet just sitting there waiting for us to go in. So we knew it would take time. We estimated to a 2019 move-in date. We're still hoping for that, but that's an estimate. What I really want to thank you and our board for is the foresight to develop that capital plan and start, banking dollars for that capital plan. Every nickel that we put into the bank for the capital plan saves us an interest if we have to finance anything. So that has been very successful. We're over $350,000 in capital reserves now just for the building, and we're working on our 3rd year of that right now. And then last thing, I always like to end with a great story about what's happening with our participants. Perfect timing. This weekend is a state tournament, a Special Olympics state tournament down at ISU in Bloomington Normal. And we have our biggest team ever going. So we have athletes in bocce, track and field, swimming, and powerlifting, 20 individuals in total going down. And to go to the state games, you have to win a gold medal, come in first place in the regional tournament, which is up in our area here. So we had 20 athletes on 4 teams win gold this year. And Diana M. from Highwood is representing us down there on the track team. So we're very proud of her, and we're going to have a great, it's every Father's Day weekend. So they take off Friday morning early, and they'll be back on Sunday night. So it's going to be a great weekend.
We'll have a good time down there.
Any questions of the council or mayor for myself or for Jim? And thank you so much, not just as
Very
Jim, my boss,
impressive.
but you know, he's also a great support and a great board member.
So you do a great job.
Well, thank you so much. It's
Great
our
job.
pleasure.
I do have just one question, Craig.
Yes.
How do you find that, new families move into communities, children, teens, adults, disabilities? How do they typically find out about NSSRA? Is it a referral from the partner, be it the park district, the city, village? How does that normally
Great question.
happen?
Well, our area is very well renowned for services for individuals with disabilities. And maybe I can just give you a quick story from one of our foundation members from Glencoe. This individual, they live in Glencoe. He was offered a job at his bank, a big promotion, but they're located in Raleigh-Durham. This is right when I started. And he said, Craig, I had to turn down this promotion because it's more important for me to be here because my son would not be able to survive without his connection at NSSRA. And he also very much complimented NSSED, which is the special ed cooperative. So the long and short of it, he still got the promotion. They asked him, would you be willing to commute from Chicago to where you need to go, but your family stays there? And he made a decision to do that. So I've had many stories similar to that saying, one of the reasons we live here in Highwood or Highland Park or Lake Bluff, and our northern border is Lake Bluff, our southern border is Glenview and Wilmette. So the 13 communities of the North Shore, basically our territory. And so many families have told me that one of the main reasons that they live here is because of NSSRA. And we are the connection, especially for adults. So we help children with disabilities develop. But the really great thing about us is we get hold of a participant when they join us, when they're 8 or 7 or 4. And unless they move away, they're probably going to be with us for their entire life. We were the first SRA ever in the country, established in 1970. So we're 46 years old. We have participants that started with us that, when they were 5 or 6. So we have participants that have been with us for more than 40 years, if you can believe that. And a handful of folks who have been in our programs for over 30 years, which is just incredible. In the typical park district or rec department system, and this is being very general, and then I'll stop. As soon, like you're in programs as a kid, playing baseball, doing crafts, doing this, that, and the other. The minute that you get your keys to your car, you typically leave the park district world to a degree. You come back, when you're in college, you actually think you can play sports, you break your knee, and then you have a family and your kids get re-involved. At NSSRA, as soon as you're with us, it's very likely that you stay with us for your entire lifetime. And a lot of families say that we are their connection, especially adult-wise, to the community. And you saw in our video, that's what we do. We provide recreation and connection for our residents with disabilities to our community to be a really important and vibrant part of it.
Anything that you can suggest that you see that we're not doing to increase adoption? I mean, there was a year-over-year decrease, but I guess the thing that stands out to me, and maybe it's something that we're not doing, or maybe there's just not any kids with disabilities in Highwood, that it's been 2 years in a row with 0 children's program registrations. Anything that you would suggest that we could do more proactively, perhaps to make families aware in the community with children with disabilities that these programs are available to them? In the unlikely event, it sounds like that they're not already aware of NSSRA.
Exactly. I don't have specific, I can't pinpoint exactly why, because, the school here is part of NSSED. And honestly, that typically is where our first connection occurs.
Sure.
We have a good relationship there. So I don't know the specifics of the population here in Highwood, but it's basically, anything that we can do advertisement wise, wonderful. And I can bring that to my friends at NSSED and say if they have any research on that, as to why that may be. Sorry, I don't have a specific answer, but I don't.
Quite all right. Thank you.
Thank you. One add to that. When we joined NSSRA back in the late 2000s, part of it was because at Oak Terrace, one of the examples cited to us of why it was so important for Highwood to join was that they would talk about it in the schools.
Sure.
And they could talk about it to the children who were Highland Park residents, but the Highwood residents couldn't participate, and the cost was prohibited for any of them who wanted to. So that was part of the draw. Residents coming to us and saying, look, we need Highwood and NSSRA.
Right.
It's very important for our children. So that's another avenue. But that's something I can work on
Yeah, just
with
surprised.
Mr. Culp and Mr. Corin
Thank you.
and work on that. One other just brief note that I think is really important from the council and the mayor and Scott's perspective. In the years I've been representing Highwood and NSSRA, one of the things we've been very concerned about in all the partner agencies is both the quality of the programs and the fiscal discipline. And both Mr. Culp and the staff have done a tremendous job. The quality of the programs, the satisfaction of the parents and the children and the all ages who participate in NSSRA, but also the year over year, very closely monitoring the budget, being very sensitive to operating costs. And all the member communities that participate with us have those same concerns because they are managing their own park district budgets. So I think that one of the things we do, and I work with Mr. Corin on, is making sure that there's a clear understanding of where we're at. Mr. Corin gets all the correspondence, the monthly, everything I see, he sees. We consult when we need to about issues. But one of the things I'm very sensitive to on that board is making sure that as we're working with the city, that that's something that's very highly thought of with NSSRA and what they're doing in terms of fiscal responsibility and quality programs. And I can tell you emphatically that both Mr. Culp and the staff have done a tremendous job in helping that way. So
It's great
Thank
to hear. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you for your
Appreciate
time.
you coming out.
Appreciate it. Have a great night.
Absolutely. Thanks, Craig. Thanks, Jim. We'll jump right down the agenda here a little bit. Bypassing committee reports, treasurer's report, clerk's report. Moving right to number 12, which is new business. 12.1 is the consideration of a resolution appointing James Hospodarski to be the authorized representative to the NSSRA for the city of Highwood. If I could get a motion for that, please.
So moved.
second.
All in favor on that one?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, welcome back. You never went anywhere, but you got longer term now, right? Thank you. 12.2, we now have a consideration of an ordinance granting a variation from the City of Highwood Appearance Code at 210 Green Bay Road. They're going to be moving their trash receptacle. Approved by the ARC, if I'm not mistaken.
Correct.
I get a motion to approve that, please.
I'll make a motion to waive first reading and approve as drafted.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Alderman Slavin,
Aye.
Peterson.
Aye.
Fetterman,
Yes.
Falberg.
Yes.
Great. Mr. Goldstein, be pleased to know that's been approved. 12.3, consideration of a motion authorizing the city manager to fix a leaking valve at the corner of Prairie and High Street in the amount not to exceed $15,000.
So moved. Second.
Roll call, please.
Alderman Falberg,
Yes.
Fetterman,
Yes.
Peterson,
Aye.
Slavin.
Aye.
Yes.
Just so I'm clear on that one, that's one we discussed at the committee of the whole meeting. We were going to proceed with that? Okay.
At the $8,000 level.
Well, we don't, it's up to him.
Right.
To figure out what's best, and we gave him up to 15,000.
Right.
But I would say that.
Boy, that was just muddy as clear could not be.
We were leaning in the direction of the $8,000.
Yes. Well, you notify people, and if worst case scenario, and the valves don't work, then, right, then we have to go up to the 15,000.
Communication being
Correct.
the important piece.
Okay.
Don't tell anybody anything. Just that.
Yeah. You know what? One day we'll wake up and it'll be fixed, and we're like, huh, okay. 12.4,
I just want to know, is 330 Washington, will that be affected?
that one won't be.
I think we could arrange for that.
Okay.
Yeah, right. just so you can feel the pain. 12.4, here we go. Consideration of a motion authorizing the city manager to execute a contract with BIHUN for the installation of 2 check valves on the finished water high lift pumps at the water treatment plant facility.
Second.
Motion and a second, not to exceed $14,400. Roll call, please.
Alderman Slavin,
Aye.
Peterson.
Aye.
Fetterman,
Yes.
Falberg.
Yes.
Next, 12.5, consideration of an ordinance amending 4-1-7 of the classification of liquor licenses in the City of Highwood Code to add a Class A liquor license for Gingers at 254 Green Bay Road, formerly Brady McKenna's.
I'll make a motion to waive first reading and approve the ordinance as it's drafted.
Second.
Comments? Nope. Roll call, please.
Alderman Peterson.
Aye.
Slavin.
Aye.
Falberg,
Yes.
Fetterman.
Yes.
12.6, consideration of a motion adopting the fiscal year 2017 budget. If I get a motion for that, please.
So moved.
Second.
I'd like to thank Treasurer, oh, he's not even here to be thanked. We thanked him in pre-session and Scott and staff for all their hard work. I think we just do all in favor for that one, is that correct? Even a roll call for the budget.
Let's do a roll call.
Money, right? Roll call, please.
Alderman Falberg,
Yes.
Fetterman,
Yes.
Peterson.
Aye.
Slavin.
Last on the agenda, 12.7, we have consideration of an ordinance on salary and compensation for the city of Highwood for the fiscal year 2017 budget year. If I get a motion for that, please.
I'll make that motion.
Waive first reading.
Wait, first reading.
Thank you.
Second.
Roll call, please, on 12.7.
Alderman Fetterman,
Yes.
Peterson.
Aye.
Slavin.
Aye.
Falberg.
Yes.
Okay. 13 is an action coming out of executive session. We have none this evening. 14 would be adjournment. Motion to adjourn?
Second. Oh,
That was
I thought it was really. I thought it
All in favor?
was.
Well played.
Aye.
You want to make that motion there?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second that.
Wow, we are anxious to get out of here. I'm sorry about the. All in
Who
favor?
needs it first?
We got one. Opposed? One will take it. We're adjourned.